Hey there, fellow gamers. Tired of lag ruining your kill streak? Wishing your games looked as epic as they should? Building your own gaming PC might seem intimidating, but trust me, it's easier than you think. Not only will you get a machine that crushes your favorite games, but you'll also learn valuable tech skills and save some cash in the process. Plus, there's nothing more satisfying than saying, I built this beast myself. Building your own PC gives you the freedom to choose exactly the components you want. Forget pre-built rigs with their compromises and bloatware. You're in control here. Want the latest graphics card for mind-blowing visuals? No problem. Need a super fast processor to handle those demanding ADIL titles? You got it. Custom building allows you to tailor your PC to your specific gaming needs and budget. But it's not just about performance. Building your own PC is an incredibly rewarding experience. Think of it like assembling your own high-tech Lego set, but with way more power. You'll learn how the different components work together, giving you a deeper understanding of the technology that powers your gaming adventures. And let's be honest, there's a certain geek cred that comes with being able to say you built your own PC from scratch. So, are you ready to ditch those console limitations and step into the world of custom PC building? Let's dive in and get started. Before we break out the screwdrivers, let's talk about the heart and soul of your gaming rig: the components. Don't worry, you don't need a degree in computer science to understand this stuff. We'll keep it simple and focus on the essentials. First up, we have the CPU, or Central Processing Unit, the brain of your PC. It handles all the calculations and instructions that make your games run. Think of it as your gaming quarterback, calling the plays and making sure everything runs smoothly. Next, we have the GPU, or Graphics Processing Unit, the visual powerhouse of your system. This bad boy is responsible for rendering those stunning graphics and smooth frame rates that make your games come to life. It's like the star-wide receiver, catching all the passes and making you look good. Of course, no gaming PC is complete without RAM or random access memory. This is like your PC's short-term memory, storing the data your games need to access quickly. The more RAM you have, the smoother your games will run, especially in those massive open worlds. And finally, we have the storage, which is where your game's operating system and other files live. You'll want a fast SSD or solid-state drive for your operating system and main games, and maybe a larger HDD or hard disk drive for additional storage. Now that you know the players, it's time to assemble your dream team. But before you go on a spending spree, it's important to set a budget and choose components that align with your gaming goals. Don't worry, you don't need to break the bank to build a killer gaming PC. If you're on a tight budget, prioritize the CPU and GPU, as these have the biggest impact on gaming performance. You can always upgrade your RAM or storage later down the line. There are tons of great resources online that compare different components and their price to performance ratios. Don't be afraid to do your research and find the best deals. When choosing your components, it's important to consider compatibility. Make sure your motherboard supports the CPU, RAM, and GPU you choose. You'll also need a power supply that can handle the demands of your components. Again, there are plenty of online resources that can help you check compatibility and calculate your power requirements. Remember, it's better to have a little extra power on tap than to risk your system crashing in the middle of an epic boss battle. Alright, let's dive into the step-by-step assembly guide for your custom gaming PC. First, start by preparing your workspace. Make sure you have a clean, static-free area to work on. Now, let's install the power supply into the case. Secure it with the screws provided. Next, mount the motherboard by aligning it with the standoffs in the case and securing it with screws. Don't forget to connect the power supply cables to the motherboard. Moving on, install the CPU by carefully placing it into the socket on the motherboard. Apply a small amount of thermal paste, then attach the CPU cooler. Now, insert the RAM sticks into the appropriate slots on the motherboard. Make sure they click into place. Finally, install your storage drives and connect them to the motherboard using the SATA cables. And there you have it. The basic assembly is complete. Let's talk about some common mistakes and how to dodge them. One major mistake is not grounding yourself before handling components. Always touch a metal part of your case to discharge any static electricity. Another common issue is using too much thermal paste on the CPU. A pea-sized amount is sufficient. Also, make sure all power cables are firmly connected. Loose cables can cause your system to malfunction. Double check that your RAM sticks are properly seated in their slots. If your PC doesn't boot, this is often the culprit. Lastly, ensure that all case fans are oriented correctly for optimal airflow. Avoid these mistakes, and you'll have a smooth build process. Now comes the exciting part. It's time to power up and game on. Double-check all your connections one last time. Plug in your monitor, keyboard, and mouse. Connect your PC to a power source and press the power button. If everything is connected properly, your system should boot up. Install your operating system and drivers. Once that's done, you can start installing your favorite games. Congratulations, you've built your very own custom gaming PC. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy your gaming experience.